on, guys? Thank you for tuning into the Table Talk today. We have Anthony back again, and today we're talking off camera a little bit, and I just asked him, what's another good topic? What's something that you think people don't know but they should know? And it's something really interesting that he actually came up with that he's talking to his clients about and really starting to focus in on, and stuff that I've also had some consistency with and some experience with. So go ahead and share with them what it is that you just shared with me.
First of all, I want to promise you guys I do own more than one shirt. We were talking off camera a little bit about my focus has been when I think about the role of a coach or a trainer, what can I really give my clients? It's easy to pick up a muscle magazine, flip through there and find a workout. And it's easy to go on YouTube or Mirror or any of these apps. So the missing link, in my opinion, is a coach's ability to really teach why you're doing something and put the intention behind it. So talk a little bit about intention. What I mean by that is if you're doing a bench press, imagine for a second if you're just moving through it like that versus if you're actually setting your shoulders correctly, engaging the pecs, pushing through and extending with the tricep. Two completely different training effects. When we talk about intention, I like to use the analogy, if I were to have a misfortunate event happen and find my way onto a doctor's table for a heart surgery, and he kind of came casually walking in, Hawaiian shirt, cut off shorts, and said, "Hand me something sharp, this guy needs a new heart, I'm gonna dig in there and see what I can get." I'm not gonna be real excited about that, and it's probably not gonna go real well. However, that same heart surgeon, if he comes in professionally and knows exactly the tool he's using, exactly where he's supposed to cut, clear communication, just like a trainer should have with their client, and exactly what the purpose of the task is and how to execute it, a lot better chance I'm going to make it off that table. With training, it's really no different. I mean, obviously I'm not in there saving a life, but get the most out of the workout from the clients and the best value for their time. And really from a trainer's perspective, that's what keeps me engaged. That's what makes my job fun. Having the opportunity to teach people and give them that aha moment. Yeah. With intention, try to tell everybody to think that working out's a little bit different than a job that you clock into and clock out of, where you just go through the movements fast. And it's not so much that, if I move really fast, I'm sweating and I'm burning calories. That's just a real small piece of the puzzle. If you were hypothetically supposed to do 30 sets, but there were 30 sloppy sets, and we ended up really taking the time to make sure that you're lowering the bar at the right speed, that you're engaging the right muscles, that you're staying tight the whole time, and you only got 10 sets done. Those 10 sets, in terms of what they're going to be able to recruit when we talk about muscle fibers, when we talk about training effect, when we talk about keeping injuries at bay, all that stuff, you're just going to get so much return, more return on the investment with focusing on the intention and the quality of the movement. And that's really where the value of a trainer is knowledgeable as Alex is going to come in. He's somebody that can teach his clients and give them those tools and make sure that everything that they're doing, there's a purpose behind, and that purpose is being executed to the correct standard.
Oh yeah, I do appreciate the compliment as well. It's funny, when we were talking off camera, one of my clients actually recently, we had talked in a couple of the previous table talks about, if somebody says something just right out, like kind of clicks with you, right? And I was just talking to this client, she was getting results, but it was like I just said the right combination of words together, I guess, and it just resonated with her, and then bam, she starts losing weight, she starts like eating correctly and everything else, limiting all the stuff that she was doing poorly nutritionally, really upped her game in the gym. She's down all this weight now, her body's starting to like really come in and everything else. It's like, wow, imagine that. You were talking about the heart surgeon a little bit ago, and it made me laugh because I didn't say something. I'll say it now. Did you realize we go to a doctor that walks in with a Spider-Man t-shirt, cargo shorts?
It was a little ironic, yeah.
We still love you, I swear. Yeah. We still love you. No, he's awesome. He's awesome. But Imagine if a heart surgeon actually did walk in like that, but they were like completely professional.
Hopefully I'd be in a severe enough condition that I wouldn't notice it, because otherwise I would have a heart attack.
Being on the table with that. That's good. No, with training intent though, that is such a big thing, and like I know that they talk a lot about it in the bodybuilding world and obviously the powerlifting world, athletics too, but like I specifically think bodybuilding because it's always about, you know, concentration, mind-muscle connection, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you brought up, you know, the 10 great sets as opposed to 30 crappy sets. Oftentimes, like when people come into the gym, like I think, yes, it is a stress reliever for them mentally, though, you know, cortisol and everything else happens, different story. But, you know, when people really dive into it and they actually focus on what it is they're trying to accomplish, I think that they get a lot more out of it. And to your point, like, you know, really focusing on like what's engaging as opposed to what's not. And it's funny, like I would, just people that I know that like their headspace is like not always like where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, yeah, where are you feeling that? And they're like, oh, I feel it here. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely not where you're supposed to be feeling it. You know what I mean? It's always like in the antagonist muscle group. So then you obviously make the correction, like, oh, that's where I'm supposed to feel it. Geez, that is so much harder. They're like, I like my way more. So, you know, focus on what it is that you are doing when you're in the gym. You know, make the most of the time. If you have 30 minutes, if you have 45, an hour, you know, make the most of it. You know, I think last time we had talked, I think you had shortened your training sessions down quite a bit and stuff like that, and they're like far more efficient now, just based on like videos that I'm seeing you post.
Yeah, my personal training sessions, even on a leg day, it's not going to be more than an hour, and there's a number of reasons for that. One thing to consider is like somebody with a solid training background. If you've been training with a trainer for 6 years or more, and you'd be what I consider advanced training. In the advanced stage, you're going to have the ability to recruit more muscle fiber, and because of that, instead of it taking 5 sets before you tapped into a pool of motor units, you're going to be able to tap into that complete pool of motor units in perhaps 1 to 2 sets. So anything past that, basically you're making a deduction from your recovery account, and ultimately recovery is where the progress happens. So making sure that one of the reasons that new trainees do multiple sets, because it's no different than swinging a baseball bat. If you swing the baseball bat twice, perfect, that's terrific, but are you going to be able to do that when you step up to the plate? If you swing that baseball bat 1,000 times perfectly, when you step up to the plate, you're going to have a higher likelihood of doing it. And 10,000 times, it's basically a reflex. So training's no different in that aspect. You're training your nervous system to recruit the muscle, muscle fiber, so that it can engage what it needs to, and you can get the most out of every set. And ultimately, the reward is a more efficient workout that doesn't take as much time and produces exponentially more results.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So when you guys go into your training sessions, train with intent, focus on what it is that you're doing, focus on that muscle that's supposed to be engaged. Don't just go through the motions, just go through the motions. To his point earlier, you can have 30 crappy sets and sweat like a pig, but if you're not actually focusing on the muscles that need to engage, you're kind of just running on a hamster wheel. So that is today's Table Talk. Thank you so much for watching. Train with intent, and also turn on the post notifications, like, subscribe, and like I said, give Anthony a follow on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Oh boy, I think it's lowercase. I think Anthony Castor at Instagram, but
okay. We can get on that for you. Thank you guys. Definitely follow him. Super smart guy. Until next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.